All right, I'd like to call the Town of Cedar Lake Plan Commission September 21st, 2022. Public meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Mr. Carnahan will be absent. Mr. Foreman?
Here.
Mr. Sharp?
Here.
Mr. Becker?
Here.
Ms. Bauer? Present. Mr. Parker?
Here.
Mr. Kapora?
Present.
Mr. Oliphant?
Here.
Mr. Austin?
Present.
Mr. Pilatus?
Present.
Ms. Abernathy? Present.
Minutes, August 17th, 2022, public meeting, September 7th, 2022, work session, and special public meeting. Any comments on the minutes or questions?
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Motion made by Mr. Parker, seconded by Mr. Sharp. Roll call, please.
Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
Mr. Sharp?
Yes.
Ms. Bauer? Yes. Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes, vote carries 6-0. Item number 1, old business, Beacon Point, Unit 6, final plat. Beacon Point of Cedar Lake, LLC, 8900 Worker Avenue, vicinity of 13830 Parish Avenue, Cedar Lake. Petitioner is requesting final plat for Beacon Point West Phase 6.
Good evening, Jake Slager with Schilling Development, representing Beacon Point of Cedar Lake. We're requesting final plat tonight for Unit 6 and also Unit 7. That's the next item on your agenda. These two are adjacent. Basically, the next two sections of Beacon West in the center, and all single-family lots. All of the infrastructure is in and graded. The roads are in. The inspection fees were paid yesterday, and the letter of credit is in the process of getting in your hands this week sometime. So I think we're ready to go on these.
Todd?
Everything is in order from our December 16th, 2022 letter. Just for record purposes, Unit 6 is 18 residential lots and 1 outlot. The 3% inspection fee for Unit 6 was $16,048.07. The letter of credit recommended value be $534,935.80, and then a $2,000 MS4 inspection fee.
What's the date of that letter?
September 16th, and actually let me correct that for a second. So that's the full freight. They're actually reduced to $207,191.88. Did I say that right? No, I didn't.
207, 191.88.
Yes. That's correct. A lot of numbers. They're both in the same letter.
Building Department?
We're good. They put an E at Beacon Point Court, so we're good.
Commissioners, any discussion?
No, sir.
No, sir. Nothing? And I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Mr. Parker makes a motion to
Approve?
approve with Don's letter,
Yes.
with Don's letter of 9/16/22. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. Sharp. Roll call, please.
Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
Mr. Sharp?
Yes.
Ms. Bauer? Yes. Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes. Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you.
That was just Phase 6. Now Phase 7, same petitioner, same owner, same request.
Yes, same condition. The infrastructure is in. The inspection fees are paid. The letter of credit is forthcoming, and this one is 36 lots. Is that right?
36 lots and 1 outlot.
Yeah.
So, same letter, September 16th, 2022, the 3% inspection fee is $37,160.78. And the reduced letter of credit based on installed infrastructure and inspections, $446,075.75. And a $2,000 inspection fee for MS4.
Building department,
We're good.
any commissioners?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No questions.
I'll entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the final plat for unit number 7, per the comments for unit 7 in the 9/16/2022 Christopher B. Burke Engineering letter.
Motion made by Mr. Foreman, seconded by Mr. Becker. Roll call, please.
Mr. Foreman,
Yes.
Mr. Sharp,
Yes.
Ms. Stetser,
Yes.
Mr. Becker,
Yes.
Mr. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Kapura.
Yes, motion carries, 6-0.
Thank you.
You're welcome. New business, Birchwood Phase 1, request for extension of performance letter of credit.
Hi, hello, Jeff Yatsko, Old Toff Homes. We have a letter of credit, performance letter of credit for Birchwood Phase 1 that expires October 5th. We're just seeking to have that extended. We have a couple punch list items that Don's presented. In fact, that list is already probably halfway done, but we just need a little bit more time to get, just through the punch list. And we just won't have it done before the 5th, plus a letter of credit and everything else, so we're just looking for approval to extend that.
How many days?
So at the last meeting, we had said a year.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so we're just gonna extend it the year, but it won't take
I see.
but a month or two, and I'll probably be back here getting that converted, if not sooner. I did provide a copy to Chris this afternoon, and I have the original with me, so.
Okay. Anything, Don?
No comments, I think it was 565, right, is what it's set at right now?
So which one?
The current letter of credit?
Yeah, I think it was 565,070.19. Is that correct?
That's what we got. Correct.
Good. Commissioners? I'll entertain them. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'll entertain a motion to extend to approve the petitioner's request or deny.
I'll make a motion to approve the request for the extension of the performance letter of credit for the year. Is that right?
Yes. Motion made by Ms. Deschauer to extend it, to approve it. Seconded by Mr. Becker. Roll call, please.
Mr. Foreman,
Yes.
Mr. Sharp,
Yes.
Ms. Stetser,
Yes.
Mr. Becker,
Yes.
Mr. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Kapura.
Yes, motion carries, 6-0.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Get that work back here.
Number 2, Cedar Lake Storage LLC, request for reduction in performance letter of credit. Do we have a petitioner? Do we have any information?
There's a letter from Don dated September 8th in your packet.
It's item number 3 on the PDF, guys.
Yeah.
So public infrastructure performance letter of credit and interior private performance letter of credit?
Yeah, just to refresh everybody's memory on this one, there were 2 separate letter of credits, one for the public infrastructure, which essentially was seeing some asphalt improvements, mostly a sidewalk, and that stuff. So the phase 1 portion's up to binder, they'll likely pave surface on it probably next year. So, but they've met all the phase 1 requirements for getting the binder in, but they're probably not gonna get to the surface this year. So based on what's been approved and inspected, these are the reduction numbers, and for what remains too.
So are they, so they can't open?
No, they can open. No, I think they can
Oh,
open.
this is- Okay.
Yeah, they're just, the way they cut their sidewalk in, they got some residual tie-in stuff, and the sidewalk still needs to be extended a little bit to the east,
East, yeah.
to get to the edge of the property. They're gonna have some grading challenges, but they're kind of waiting to do that. They have the sidewalk that goes through the public frontage, so the entrance is at Binder is, you know, we consider that substantial, it's usable. So they've met all of their phase one requirements. I believe they had everything constructed by July 1st was the original agreement, and it's been in. Now they're just requesting a reduction to what's been installed.
Got it.
That's
And
what's
she
all.
agrees with your numbers?
I believe so. They were copied on the letter. I didn't hear differently. So I actually met one of the owners out there the day after the last meeting to kind of go over with everything, and yeah, seems all right to me.
I'll make a motion to grant their request for a reduction of their performance letter of credit.
Motion made by Mr. Parker to approve their request.
I would say as noted on our September 8th, 2022 letter, it's got both amounts for each letter of credit on it. One's $7,700.00, the other one's $113,181.48.
I'll amend my motion to include Don's comments.
Motion amended.
I'll second.
Seconded by Mr. Foreman. Roll
Mr.
call,
Foreman?
please.
Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
Mr. Sharp?
Yes.
Ms. Steph
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes, motion carries 6-0. And moving right along, number 3, Hanover Community School Corp., final plat amendment. Hanover Middle School Building Corp., 9520 West 133rd Avenue. Petitioner Hanover Community School Corp., same address, vicinity of 10631 West 141st Avenue, Cedar Lake. Petitioner is requesting a final plat amendment to allow for the address on the administration building to be changed to 14525 Wicker, and Red Cedars Elementary School to be changed to 10735 West 141st Avenue. Good evening. Name and address, please.
Steve Goff, I'm representing the school, 9520 West 133rd Avenue.
Okay, well, I understand you're just requesting for mail purposes to have two separate...
It's a little more than mail purposes.
Okay.
A lot of it has to do with safety. And when we petitioned to do our fire system, that's the address that the state sent back to us.
Okay,
So that's on file with the state fire marshal.
okay. Don, you got any comments?
Sure.
This is ministerial.
Commissioners?
Not here, sir.
I'll make a motion to approve their request.
Motion made to approve by Mr. Parker,
Second.
seconded by Mr. Sharp. Roll call, please.
Mr. Foreman?
Yes.
Mr. Sharp?
Yes.
Ms. Steph
Yes.
Mr. Becker?
Yes.
Mr. Parker?
Yes.
Mr. Kapora?
Yes, motion carries 6-0.
Steve might be disappointed. This is the shortest time he's ever spent coming into a meeting of any sort.
Oh, he had his ducks in a row.
Good night,
Yeah,
gentlemen.
Anderson.
There you go.
Good. All right, number 4, Rose Garden Estates, Unit 1, performance letter of credit extension. Doesn't look like they're petitioning.
Nope.
They've already submitted, I believe, a full extension request,
Full amount.
full amount, no reduction. They submitted it one day.
I think last night we approved it, didn't we, Chris?
Yeah.
So instead of a letter of credit, didn't they give us a check?
No, you're thinking about Black River Bell.
Oh, that's
which is
right.
next.
Yeah, this was a full, almost 6.1 million, I think it is.
Wow.
We got a letter of credit extension instrument for 1 year in September next year for the $6.7 million amount that they posted 2018, whenever it is, or 2019. Just extend the full year.
Is it at least
Good
the second
order.
It's just
extension?
money.
Wow.
And I'll comment on Chris's process.
Yeah.
This might be the third extension?
The info piece to you,
So we're doing this for a year?
sorry,
We're doing this, the extension for a year?
they
Yeah.
have an extension.
From the date it would expire.
The surety, right, on the surety. They're gonna need it.
Don, refresh my memory, they don't have do they have more phases left? Or have we approved all their phases up to now?
I think everything's platted. They only have like less than 10 permits to pull left, I think.
Yeah,
Something like
it's
that?
very low. They're about ready to,
They just have a big hit list.
For the whole thing. For the whole
We're eventually gonna
project.
have to get through a plat, on the whole subdivision.
So we're not gonna see them again though?
Oh,
For
we're
another-
definitely gonna see them, but hold a whole bunch of their money.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, for another phase.
No,
Got it.
everything's
unless they
platted.
bought new land,
Yeah.
which we're not aware of.
Theoretically, they'd be coming in here for return of their performance surety and conversion to a maintenance, theoretically.
Their biggest problem is they can't get a staff person that's competent enough to get this thing finished up.
And we're gonna end up being involved in that.
This isn't just a Cedar Lake problem.
Well, no, their construction department doesn't talk to their financial department. Last time this happened, the field guys didn't even know it was coming. Just came in out of the blue. Kinda like this one, kinda came out of the blue too. So,
Wow.
Well, then we should put it in the bank.
Yeah.
Keep it in the
It is in vain,
Yeah.
for the sake.
So we need to extend it for a year.
I
At
think
the end of the
that's
year from
recommendation,
December,
my
we'll put it in the
recommendation.
bank.
Yep, yes, it's our recommendation.
And you're covered with the amount, unless it needs to be increased.
Ah,
Don?
I think we're good.
Okay.
If they have that much problem, we got a problem.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
I'll make a motion to extend it for 1 year past the date it expires.
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Parker to approve the request for extension to 1 year past the date of expiration, seconded by Ms. Deschauer. Roll call, please.
Mr. Foreman,
Yes.
Mr. Sharp,
Yes.
Ms. Sensao, Mr. Becker,
Yes.
Mr. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Kapura.
Yes, motion carries 6-0. Number 5, Black River Dial LLC. Acceptance of certified check in lieu of performance letter of credit. No petitioner here either.
I
but-
believe Aaron Humphrey is the
He's
petitioner
online.
on Zoom.
Pardon?
Aaron Humphrey is on Zoom.
Okay. Hello?
Hello,
Yes, sir. You're up.
how are you?
Good.
I'll give a little background on this then. This is the Taco Bell project. Instead of a letter of credit, they're asking to put a certified check. The town council accepted this last night at their meeting. And if you accept it tonight as well, then we'll be able to, once we get that check in hand, we'll be able to release their Mylars. I believe all the other inspections are paid, yeah.
What's the amount of the check?
Should be $57,640.00.
Yeah.
It's primarily related to the water main improvements and sidewalk.
The first letter I have here that shows that amount is dated March 14th, 2022.
That's correct.
I'll make a motion to accept their check.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Mr. Parker to accept the certified check, seconded by Mr. Sharp. Roll call, please.
Mr. Foreman,
Yes.
Mr. Sharp,
Yes.
Ms. Sensao,
Yes.
Mr. Becker,
Yes.
Mr. Parker,
Yes.
Mr. Kapura.
Yes, motion carries 6-0. I'm gonna talk a little slower.
Who can argue about getting a check?
Thank you, Mr. Humphrey.
Certified check, yeah.
Thanks, Aaron.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you.
it.
Have a good night. Update items, building regs and fee amendments,
Being worked on, forthcoming.
forthcoming, 133rd Commerce Corridor moratorium.
This and the following one are also forthcoming. Dave and I have been meeting quite regularly lately.
Okay. Any idea when this will,
No,
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 just curious.
no.
No? Okay.
So we're working, it's in the wheelhouse. There's a lot of
Yeah.
projects kind of tied into that. TIF parcels, a lot of review that's going on. Public hearing, we're going to ask you to come to a public meeting next month related to those things. So that all these pieces are tied together. preparation and/or readiness for next steps.
Okay.
Tom's got us 9-foot-long maps to work off of, so, fun.
We all have war maps for plugging away.
Alrighty. All right, that covers the next one too, number 3. Number 4, offshore estate, performance letter of credit expires October 30th, 2022.
So that's Dave Carey. I probably need to start pushing him, or else he's gonna have to extend it. Big thing's pavement. So,
That's what he has to do is pavement?
yeah, and there might be one light to go up, but I think it's up. So,
Yeah.
How many houses are back there now?
I think there's maybe only a couple empty lots.
And the houses are occupied?
I believe so.
Cover
They
9
probably
lots
nine
to start
lots.
from, right?
Yeah, so 7.
It's a
Yeah,
9 lot,
so they're
yeah. 9 lot and 1 commercial lot, so. I don't know what's going on. I think he came before this board 3 months ago at least.
Something
Yeah.
like that.
And ask him to be able to put down top coat.
Yep. And it's up to him. I'll remind him.
Okay.
So if we don't, we'll have to.
We'll have to extend it.
We'll have to give him a date at the next meeting then, right?
We'll give him
Pull
a
it?
date to pull. Yeah, I hope, since it's, I don't remember what the exact amount was, but it's not a lot, so I hope you would just extend it if you guys can get it down.
The next meeting will be real close to the time to pull it.
Yeah.
So if he doesn't get it down, then he has to be responsible for plowing snow this year, correct?
Yes.
So it's advantageous for him if he can pull it off.
Yes.
I'd imagine he will,
Yeah.
makes sense, right?
Do we need to remind them of with a letter?
There are
John said he's gonna reach out.
I'll-
John's gonna reach out.
Some aggregate shortages right now that
Yes.
people are dealing with.
It's probably very low on the list because they're very small.
Yeah.
I just found that out the other day that you can't even hardly get them unless you're a big contractor.
There's an aggregate shortage now.
Concrete's even worse.
As insane as it sounds,
Staggered stuff.
it's stone.
Concrete won't even send out trucks on weekends now.
Yeah, cement was the same thing.
You can't get concrete, asphalt is tight, and there's no Portland cement to be had.
Yep.
Crazy.
That's a,
Jesus. It's a fact, though.
What are we blaming it on now?
Actually, they consider it a domestic issue.
Chinese.
I think they consider cement domestic, is what they're telling us.
COVID.
Yeah.
I think it's a labor shortage personally, but
Even the Sacri's getting thin now. I think the Sacri are getting thin.
they won't ship out partial loads anymore. Smith or you have to get a full truck or you're not getting it. So.
Buddy up with somebody. Truck.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Okay, number 5, Lakeside Unit 1, Block 2, maintenance letter of credit expires December 3rd, 2022.
Public Works was notified earlier this week to basically initiate the final inspections on that block. It's the eastern block of Lakeside that's coming due. So they'll do the utility inspections, we'll also do our above ground inspections, and we'll make,
That's got the final asphalt on it?
Yeah.
So then when they build back in there, the trucks will be running over that final asphalt?
Yep. It's the end of the 3-year maintenance period.
And then if they ruin that street, then it's up to us to,
We will have them do a pre-construction video, if we can prove it's essentially their damage, then we have that recourse. Same thing we do with MacArthur.
but if we can't prove it, then it's up to us.
The videos are pretty,
Yeah,
they
okay.
give us some pretty good ammo.
I just want it out.
Yeah. No, that's something we're actually gonna consider with the subdivision ordinance about how we can control that better. Centennial was a big issue with that when you have 15 phases, I think they had, and they worked out to in. You run into problems.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it's really hard to police, but it's something that we're gonna consider, I think, when we start redoing the subdivisions, how we can best manage it.
Or future phases have to start into out.
Yeah, or you allow certain phases, they have to be a certain lot, so they're bigger phases. I mean, Centennial's coming out of the recession, so they were planning in like 15, 20 lot mini phases, which we can't technically tell them no. So that's one. I mean, there's a couple of options that I think we can consider, but it's an issue with bigger subdivisions, and the one to the south is a monster. So there's going to be some attention paid to how we manage that over potentially a 7 to 8 year build. which is what Centennial turned out to be.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody anticipated going that long, but it did.
Did we ever find out exactly how many more they put up with the water system we have now? Because I thought we had a disagreement. He was saying they had another 25, but I thought they were maxed out last time.
Are you talking about?
They claimed
Lakeside.
55, and we said 30. I believe Neil was running those numbers. I don't have an answer off the top of my
I
head
wanna say it
right
was
now.
31.
Something like that.
Yeah, somewhere in that ballpark.
And I think Jack requested they run the numbers again, because a lot's changed since we made that motion with improvements to Robin's Nest and stuff like that. So I don't know if Neil's doing that now or not.
No, I know he's running those numbers, but I just don't have an answer for you right now.
Okay, number 6, Rose Garden Estates, Unit 2, performance letter of credit expires December 9th. That's different than the other one, right?
Yeah, this one almost definitely will be extended. We haven't been asked to start inspections on it. I don't think we have answers for it either. So, it's
December
almost
9th.
assuredly going to be
Couple
extended.
months, but, yeah.
I think they were running out of time and instructions didn't correct anything and we haven't been asked, so. It's up to them, it's in their court.
Number 7, Beacon Point, Unit 4, performance letter of credit expires December 11, 2022.
So I hope this one's gonna rotate in the maintenance. They did some milling on Friday of last week. I think they're actually paving tomorrow to correct some pavement issues on 141st. They kinda did it in conjunction with Beacon East. There's a couple other punch list stuff on the remaining letter, but they're minor, so I hope that one's gonna be done and can flip. That would make the entire subdivision plowable versus the southern quarter not, technically. It's kind of stupid, but,
Yeah, it makes sense.
so I hope Jack's aware of it. We forwarded our letter again to their new construction manager. He's aware of it. We met with him on site last week. Should be okay. But we'll see.
Okay, number 8, Summer Winds, Unit 2, performance letter of credit expires December 20th, 2022.
I don't know what's going on with these, to be honest with you. We were in contact with the developer earlier in the summer and haven't heard boo since. They didn't meet the percentage requirement to pay final, and they still have binder issues out there they need to correct before they can get to that, and we haven't heard from them since.
Are they still building?
I think
Yeah,
probably the slowest development in town.
Yeah,
Still
it's
building,
low.
yeah.
Still building. Very
I know the prime developer sold some of the lots to a secondary contractor, so I don't know if that's the hang up or what, but,
I think there's a couple back there now,
Yeah.
builders,
so,
at least 3.
all in his court.
How much time you need to pull on that, Dave?
Oh, 3-4 days.
Okay, so we got.
I think he's using,
Yeah, it's
I think
December
he's
20th,
using People's Bank, so it's pretty quick,
Yeah.
actually.
I think the initial intent at the beginning of the summer was to actually roll 1, 2, and 3 into one maintenance letter of credit. And that would be great, less paperwork for staff to keep track of, but we haven't heard boo probably in the last 3-4 months.
I haven't even had any complaints from the residents in that area, which is
Yeah, which
kind
is
of
shocking.
interesting.
Yeah.
They've been loud at the beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
Speaking of People's Bank, what's going on outside there? Are they gonna clean that up, or,
I'm not aware what you're talking about.
I don't know, there's weeds everywhere, it looks horrible.
Oh, well, they seeded it, now it seems that they need to fix it,
It looks horrible.
yeah. But for the most part, that's on private property. So, but I'll talk to them.
And if it's a tall weed issue, we can send code
Yeah,
enforcement back.
Look at that, right there.
I agree, with all the new
Yeah.
blacktop and, you know, we
That's City Road.
Yep.
and I would assume number 9, Summer Winds, Unit 3, is the same
thing.
comments, that expires December 23rd, 2022.
Unit 3 was a mini phase, I think it's 8 lots on the very south side. But there's no sense in paving that when the rest of it wouldn't be paved. So they're gonna pave it all at the same time, I imagine.
Don't developers understand how things are supposed to be built?
Not necessarily. They do what's in their best interest sometimes. So, yeah, I mean, he was notified, I think, twice this year about where he's at with occupancy permits and when he can actually final asphalt. Haven't heard anything.
Very good.
Okay. Public comment. Form a line.
A lot of people out there tonight. Nobody wants to talk, huh?
Nobody down there.
No public comment, public comment's closed. Commissioners got any comments? Staff, anybody?
It's getting dark, it's getting dark early.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
No.
Other than that, that's all I got.
You ready to vote?
They have lights.
Couldn't bring the boat tonight. Too chilly for me.
About these PUDs, like.
Wind turns to the north.
What came up, last meeting, the PUD. Now, are we gonna put a timeline on something, something like a year? 'Cause, what happens if we have a recession again?
What item are you talking about, Chuck?
Lakeside, the south.
Oh, the new phase, the new
Right.
project? Well, they'll come in when they're, first of all, ready and have utilities. They won't come in before then. And at that point in time, just like they have done with Beacon Point, it looks like they're gonna take that out in phases that are bite-sized for them. So I'm not certain if we have a lot to worry about in terms of
They don't even have a PUD approved yet, right?
No, but that was just a concept plan, they were talking about PUD, but I don't wanna get in the same position that they did back in 2009, approve all these multifamily housing and economy tanks, and they sell it to somebody else, you're not gonna know what you're gonna get.
We don't have to approve a PUD at all on that, do we? Or do we?
No, I'm not certain they're gonna bring a PUD in. Wasn't that an R2 subdivision?
They asked
The
for the-
exception of the, southwest corner, which would have the duplexes. That would have to be zoned differently.
I don't know, Shillings are, shying away from PUDs with us. Their latest developments have been subdivision plans, kind of traditional.
Following the subdivision control ordinance,
I'm sorry?
following the
Yes.
subdivision control ordinance?
Yes.
I think they'll take it like Oak Brook. Oak Brook, we set phases. We have language in there about if the developer changes hands, PUD is null. There's some pretty strict scheduling and operational stuff that was added into that. I imagine this would be similar.
Yeah, their covenants and restrictions are good, they're solid, they're uniform, they're not wild hair. So those, we don't ever really have to wonder about those, depending upon the type of housing they're bringing us.
Well, I mean,
There's something that we did talk about the last time, and I was reminded of it again this weekend driving on Parrish, south of 141st, and looking due west and wanting to puke. Oh, excuse me, I was looking at Lennar. We're going to encourage you to go to form-based and do some aesthetics requirements so that values that can be preserved. In 10 or 15 years looking at it, it's going to be different. Lennar looking west, because they're all the same. And you start pulling the colors a little bit together, and all of a sudden it looks like row housing. That's your call, of course, but all goes to value. And doing some form-based identity of criteria in the body of the planned unit development agreement and making it a condition of the approval process is your complete control on it. You can stop everything if they go off the rails. And should, because of those items of aesthetics and value and quality of retention of investment. Those items will get crossed when we have them in front of us for it again.
I don't think it would be a terrible idea on the east side to hold to the subdivision control ordinance at least for a while, because with the water system in its current condition, it's gonna be difficult to supply for a while. And why would we wanna build and tax that thing before it's even, even functional?
Yeah, and maybe that won't be something that will be in our wheelhouse, it might be developers. I suspect, and I don't know if any of you suspect the same thing, but Schilling's bought that property a long time ago, thinking they'd be out of there by now. In there, build it, be done and leave it. And, watching, their business model, they have a good business model, and it's nowhere near as aggressive as Lennar. But locally, it is pretty aggressive, and I could see the same thing happen. They want to build it and get out, so they get some reduced return on investment for what they've been sitting on. So.
But the Fed hiked another 3/4 point today, and it's gonna, the number of houses on the market for sale now are pretty extreme in all major metropolitan areas.
It's not gonna stop.
The fact the Fed didn't raise it a point should tell us all that they're gonna go back and do it again before year end, probably be another half a point.
Yeah.
That's not gonna stop anything here, though. People are gonna be running out of Illinois.
True.
As long as they keep making cornball decisions, and people are running out of Michigan as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and interest rates are not gonna stop them.
It'll slow them down.
Getting robbed at
Because
the
you can't sell the house they're in.
let me tell you, as long as they're getting robbed at the gas station and the grocery store, they're gonna leave Illinois.
Yeah,
You take that to the bank. And I'm not talking about the grocery prices either, I'm talking about crime in general. They're not punishing crime there anymore.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Interesting times, right?
Mr. Austin, you mentioned that we're gonna be asked to come to a public meeting next month. Do you have a date? Are you good for that?
I don't exactly. I will, Chris and I have a discussion with bond counsel, financing counsel, we'll have it. Was it the 18th?
18th or 19th.
So it's sorry.
That's
Yes, the third Monday, it would be the third Monday of October.
It's during the rezoning commission, right?
It would be during their regular meeting, and I can get everybody here, if we can do it.
Yeah, the third is the 17th,
Just trying to.
just so I can get it in my calendar.
It should be good.
Yeah, we'll get confirmation out to you,
Okay, thank you.
shortly.
We need more.
Yeah.
That'll be about 133rd.
Water facility.
Moratorium on 133rd?
No, it won't be about that moratorium, John.
TIP district.
Yeah, TIF district in general.
Oh, okay.
But we'll be talking about all the things that are in process, which are inclusive of moratorium and TIF parcels, and
Okay, good.
extending the TIF district, shrinking a couple of things.
Okay, anything else?
No, sir.
That's the longest end to a meeting we've ever had.
Seriously.
He's turning into Randy.
I don't like to talk.
Randy, I hope you're driving your truck listening to me.
All right, no other comments? Meeting's adjourned?
Good job, Jenny.
Thank you.